Hey Amazon sellers, are you struggling with high ACOS in your advertising campaigns? Well, in this video today, we're going to tackle the challenge of reducing your advertising cost of sale in your campaigns and turning them into profit-making machines. We're going to cover everything from bid adjustments, enhancing those conversion rates, and even smart strategic ad spend allocation. So if you're ready to take control and make your ad spend much more efficient, let's jump into the video today. I'm going to show you exactly how we do this in my business. First thing we want to talk about is understanding your ACOS. ACOS stands for advertising cost of sales. Now this is just like ROAS if you're familiar with ROAS. ROAS is ad sales divided by ad spend, and this is the opposite. It is ad spend divided by ad sales. And because it comes up as a percentage, it's times 100, and that's going to give you the ACOS that you need on Amazon. And one of the reasons I like this ACOS is because if you have a profit margin, right, with our ACOS, we need to be under that profit margin to make sure we're making money on every ad sale. But a lot of times what you want to do is you want to break even on your ads so you can maximize your organic ranking if that is the strategy you're going for. And there's a lot of different tweaks, so take that with a grain of salt. You need to spend your ad spend wisely and put it in the right areas with Amazon ads to get that result that you're looking for. But overall, ACOS is the best thing we have to measure our performance. And every time we're optimizing our campaigns, we're optimizing towards an ACOS. But of course, we're always looking at that TACOS to get an overall account level performance, which is going to break into organic ranking, and it's going to get organic sales, and it's going to give us a better reflection of our actual profitability. And throughout the rest of this video, I'm going to show you different tweaks on how to get that lowered. So stick around. I'm going to talk about how to adjust these bids shortly. And the next topic we want to talk about is lowering your bids strategically. How do you adjust these bids to get a better ACOS? And let's dive into that where we always do inside your campaign manager, jumping into the targeting tab. So just like always, we're going to jump into your campaign manager. We're going to come down to this targeting tab. What we're going to see in here is all the targets. Like you see here, it's all blurred. I don't want to show any client information here, but these are all targets, right? They could be broad, exact, phrase, right? But these are all the targets that we're actually going after. So you got campaigns, ad groups, and then we got targets, okay? So what I want to do is start to make sure I add a lot of columns here that I need. So you're going to come up to columns, customize columns, and there you can start to add your ACOS, your sales, your orders. What we're really looking at here mostly, we want to look at conversion rates, cost per click, bids, clicks, top of search impression share, impressions, ACOS, orders, sales are important. So basically everything I have here, ROAS and ACOS, you don't necessarily need both because like I said, they are reciprocals of each other. Maybe inverse reciprocals, I don't know the exact right way to say that, but flip them over. So what I've done here is I've taken ACOS high to low. So as we're optimizing, I always like to start with my targets that actually have an ACOS. When something has an ACOS, that means it has a sale, right? Because it's ad spend divided by ad sales. If I have no ad sales, I'm not going to have any value there because you can't divide by 0. Okay, so I'm going to start with things that have an ACOS. So you could run a filter, and you could say filter by orders greater than 0, and that'll give you everything that has an order. But I just work my way through, and then I'll get rid of the things without orders. So the first step, I go through ACOS high to low, right? In order to get your ACOS down, in theory and in practice as well, because we do this every single day, what you want to do is drop your bid below your cost per click. So as long as you're using fixed bids or dynamic bids down only, which I cover in tons of these other old videos I've done, as long as you're using one of those bidding methods, if you drop your bid below your cost per click, your clicks are going to be cheaper. Hopefully your conversion rate stays the same and you start to get a better ACOS. That is the theory behind it. And for the most part, it does work out that way. Sometimes you'll end up showing up in a different placement, a different area on Amazon where you might convert differently. But the more data you have on the keyword, the more accurate that this system is going to be. All right, so going through, I can see my bid, my cost per click is $2.11. I want to drop my bid below that. It looks like my team has already done that to start to lower this, right? And it really depends. Like you might say, oh, how often should I adjust my bid? It really depends on your strategy. If you just slowly, incrementally bringing your bid down, let's say you do it every couple of days, then that's fine, right? It's like an iterative bidding method. But let's say you come in here once a week. What I would really do is like a revenue per click model. So what you could do is revenue, so sales divided by the number of clicks times your target ACOS, right? So let's pull up a calculator here. All right, so let's take this one, right? We had a $51.90. So $51.90 divided by, how many clicks did we have? 40, right? We're gonna get $1.29. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that times our target ACOS. Let's say our target ACOS is 50%, so times 0.5. So on this target, if we had a bid of around 65 cents with the same number of clicks and the same number of orders, that we would have hit that 50% ACOS. So this is a good kind of threshold, but what you're really doing here is really drastically cutting the bid down. So it's really up to you, and it depends on what stage of your business you're in. Like if you're more established and you got a ton of sales coming in from a lot of other targets, this is a good method. Let's say you're just getting started, you're trying to bring down your ACOS, but you don't want to just cut out all your sales, then you might want to slowly start to bring it down. And this all depends specifically on your situation, your budget, how much you have to spend. If you have a low budget, a lot of these things can change, okay? So take that with a grain of salt. Revenue per click times target ACOS is a great formula to use. Iterative method is great, depends on how often you're in here adjusting. All right, so as you're going down, you can do the same thing. Make sure you're lowering your bid below your cost per click, whether you use the formula or you're just doing it manually. The higher your ACOS, the more you want to bring it down. The closer your ACOS gets to your target ACOS, the smaller bid adjustments you want to make. So always reference the cost per click. And then this video is all about lowering your high ACOS. But let's say once you get lower than that target ACOS, then you want to raise your bids above your cost per click. In theory here, we want to get more impressions, get more clicks, and drive more orders. Now, by doing both of these things, you're taking ad spend away from what's not working, and you're pushing more ad spend away, and you're pushing more ad spend towards what is working for you. All right, the next thing we want to do is run a filter here. So if you click and you go filter orders equals 0. Now in here, what we're looking for is where do we spend a lot of money but didn't make any sales. So now I'm going to sort by spend high to low. So you click on it once, and then you click on it twice, it'll go ahead and go spend high to low. Now we see here where we spent money, we got clicks and didn't make any sales. So what you need to establish in your business is what criteria are you going to use when you're deciding to adjust your bids, right? What it really depends on the most, in my opinion, and how we do things inside my business ad habit, is adjust your bids based on your conversion rate, right? I know if I have a 10% conversion rate, that takes me 10 clicks to get a sale. If I have a 12% conversion rate, that takes me 8 clicks to get a sale, right? So depending on what the conversion rate is, I'm going to treat it differently. So what I'll do is, let's say anything under 10 clicks, right? I may slowly lower my bids, but maybe between like 5 to 9 clicks, I'm just going to drop my bids a little bit. I got a lot of clicks, not quite 10 yet, and it still hasn't converted. But if it's like 1 to 5 clicks, maybe I'll leave it the same. Maybe I'll increase it even a little bit. It depends on what that bid is at. So what we like to do is we like to put a max bid for these based on our average conversion rate. Let's say we have a $20 product. We're going after a 50% ACOS. So we have a 10% conversion rate on that. Basically, if I take 10 clicks, which is a 10% conversion rate, divide it by my 50%, which 50% of my sales price would be $10. So if I take that 10 divided by 10, what my bid could be is $1. So basically my max bid would be right around $1 in that situation. So maybe I'll give it a little bit of a wiggle room and say $1.50, right? Maybe I'll set my max bid to $1.50, never raise it past here if I don't have any orders. Now, if I do have orders and I have a better conversion rate than 10%, then of course I'm willing to spend more money on the keyword, but none of these have been proven yet. None of these have shown to make any sales. So what I want to do is set that max bid. I'm never going to raise my bid past that. And then once I do have enough data, then I'll go ahead and make a decision whether I want to pause the keyword, whether I want to lower the bids. Let's say we usually get 10 clicks to get a sale. Let's say our decision to pause a keyword is at 20 clicks. If we hit 20 clicks and still don't get a sale, let's go ahead and pause that. And you want to use different criteria. You want to look at the relevancy of the keyword. If it's a broad phrase or auto, you want to get into the search term report. Maybe there's a problem keyword that you just need to add as a negative. And that's actually what we're getting into next. We're getting into pausing negative keywords, which helps a ton to cut back wasted ad spend. I've done over 800 advertising audits, and so many people miss out on cutting back wasted ad spend and making that a recurring task inside of their business. So as you're going through, come up with a rule. Maybe anything above 10 clicks, anything between 10 and 20 clicks, I'm going to drop my bid by maybe 40%. Anything between 5 and 10 clicks, I'm going to drop my bid by 20%. Anything 1 to 5, I'm going to leave it alone. Anything above 20, I'm going to pause, right? So you can go here, make those changes. And then what you can do is anything, let's say above 1 click, or maybe 1 to 3 even, whatever you want to decide, maybe raise the bid to try to drive some more traffic. And you can also work that click-through rate into this, which I don't have in this opening right here. But you can work the click-through rate. You can say, okay, if my click-through rate is under this amount, right? And I'm getting clicks, but it's not converting. I maybe go ahead and pause it that way too. You can get a lot more complicated, a lot more granular with this. So this is just a basic how to lower your ACOS. So the next thing I want to talk about is boosting your conversion rate. How do you get a better conversion rate? Part of getting a better conversion rate is pushing your ad spend to where you're converting the best, right? If you're converting really well, push more ad spend towards it. If you're not converting so well, take ad spend away from it. And in here, you have that conversion rate option. So when you do have orders, you can see where you're really converting the best, and you can lean into that, push more ad spend towards it. Sometimes even at the cost of a higher ACOS, that'll help a lot with organic ranking. We're not talking about that in this video, but if you have a good conversion rate, that is a good sign. Launch more keywords similar to that keyword. Now, outside of the PPC, how do we get a better conversion rate? So like I've done in many of these videos in the past, I'm always gonna come back to this same stainless steel garlic press that I keep coming back to in these videos. What I wanna do is pull up a couple of the US sellers, some that are doing really good, one that's not doing quite as good as this one, but still doing decent. Look at their listings, see why one is doing much better than the other. The first thing we're gonna pull up is this Alpha Grillers. Alpha Grillers, if you're watching, amazing job. You have some great listings. Your main images are top notch. I love them. All right, getting back into it. So you can see just looking at this, right? That looks great. It's a stainless steel garlic press, amazing 3D rendering. You can even see the grain of like the stainless steel, which looks awesome. The box looks really good. I can clearly see garlic press and peeler sets. Everything looks top notch, aesthetically pleasing. The branding looks really good on the box. Looks like a premium high quality product, right? And then as you get into their secondary images, same thing, looks really good. Amazing mixture of lifestyle and infographics together. If this is a Photoshop, it's an amazing one. I don't believe it is. I know the background's not real, but the hand is definitely real. It looks really good. They have very good quality photos. You get into the benefits and features of the product. Just great. And one thing you notice is their branding is very consistent throughout, right? They have big font that's easy to read. You can even see like the reflection of the font in the side of that, which is just on another level, right? They did not need to add the reflection of the font in that, but it's just another level of quality in this image, which is great. All right, so Alpha Grillers, great job. They got videos in here. They got all these reviews. Obviously, having tons of reviews is going to help with your conversion rate. But regardless, if you take all their reviews away today, they're not going to convert quite as well, but they're still going to convert a lot better than their competition. So when you're launching a listing, let's say your competition is Alpha Grillers with 14,000 reviews. If you want any chance of winning sales against them, you have to match the quality of their listing. Okay, so if you're just getting started, invest in this. Get the best possible images. Make it look as good as this. If you have any chance of converting this well, you need a really, really, really good listing. And the images are the most important thing. And that main image is the key, right? The main image is what gets that first click. Your price, your title, your reviews, and your main image gets that first click. And to me, that main image is the most important one. Okay, so as I'm scrolling down, you're gonna see a lot of the SEO stuff. I have a tool here. I can see when people are running lightning deals, what the price point is. So they do a good job of running lightning deals, as you can see. Okay, so now they got the from the brand section of their A+ content. Another really good looking one. We're in football season, so they actually, they talk a lot about football here. They got a link to their storefront with all their other products. They got some social proof showing, what they've been featured in. If we keep scrolling down, really good A+ content. And as you see, their branding is very consistent. The same font, the same colors, the same quality, even like almost the same lighting on all the photos is consistent. So looks really good. I think their A+ content could be improved a little bit, could flow a little bit better. But all in all, they do a great job. They got this comparison chart showing their other items to get some cross-selling going. And just an overall great listing. They got tons of reviews on the product in here. So all you just see is Alpha Grillers all day, which is great. Okay. And then let's jump into this other product, right? This is another US seller that's doing decently in the category, but nowhere near as good as Alpha Grillers. So first of all, I can almost not even tell that this is a garlic press in the main image, right? They should really be having more of an angle showing the face of it, maybe actually showing it crushing garlic or pressing garlic, however you want to say it, right? And it's a lot duller. It's not quite as shiny. There's no box. There's nothing in here that's really making me want to click on it. Great reviews, but other than that, the listing quality could be much better and could help them really convert a lot better. And then as we get into the graphics, right, very plain. At least they got a little bit of color. It's almost like the font of a Word document. It looks okay, but you can tell it's not as good as Alpha Grillers. I've definitely seen way worse listings, and this seller actually does pretty well. But if they want to compete with Alpha Grillers and take some of that market share, they really got to up their branding and up the quality of their listing. Once again, great job with them using videos, but this is the first time I've even seen that Zillis logo in here. They didn't talk about their brand once in any of these other images. They haven't filled their title completely out. The SEO in their bullet points doesn't look quite as good. They don't title each one. They do, but it's not as easy to read as Alpha Grillers was. And then you can see Alpha Grillers, the first ad pops up, boom, it's them, right? And it does make you want to click. It's cheaper. They got more reviews. And the main image, like I said, top notch, right? It looks like this seller is trying to, I assume they copied off Alpha Grillers, maybe not. I don't know who had it first, but very similar, right? Lots of good reviews. They've both, even more reviews. They're both doing amazingly well. All right, and then we got a little bit of branding, the same kind of plain, kind of outdated A+ content. So they could do a lot better. So you could see right there why Alpha Grillers might be converting better. Not only is it the price, but the listing quality is just way better. And if we actually get into Amazon here, look at stainless steel garlic press and start scrolling through, right? They really stand out as we're scrolling through. This one stands out. Alpha Grillers still does a better job. This one looks pretty good, but as you can see, like the box looks great, but you can't read anything, right? It's not helping to sell the product as much, unless like the whole Italian thing might work. But this one's just clear, straight to the point. This one is okay, but this one still looks better, as you can tell. I would love your opinion on it in the comments as well, right? So you can tell the difference between the ones that are selling the best and the ones that are not. Now, what you're going to see in your niche is a lot of times, if someone is the rock bottom price, they're going to have a high conversion rate. They're going to get a lot of sales. So that's just going to happen, right? If you want to put your price down to the bare minimum where you're not making any money, that's an option too. You're going to convert really well, but maybe at the end of the day, you're not going to make a lot of money, right? So you want to find that happy medium where you have a competitive price or even a premium price and the best possible listing that you can have. So like I promised earlier in this video, we're going to cover negative keywords. This is an amazing way to reduce your ACOS in your campaigns by cutting out the keywords in your auto, your broad, your phrase, your category campaigns that just aren't performing well. So what you want to do is get into your campaigns, get into your ad groups, and go to your search terms. Once you're in your search terms, what I like to do is add a filter here for orders equals 0. And the first thing I like to do is go spend high to low, just like I did in the targeting tab. So spend high to low. Once we're here, we can start to see where we're getting a lot of clicks, where we're spending a lot of money, but not making sales. This campaign here hasn't spent a ton, but it's the same thing. Really, I want to base off my conversion rate and use that same criteria like I thought about when pausing my bids to add a negative keyword. Now, it's a little bit different in your auto, your broad, and your phrase. If I'm in an exact match one, I have a certain target ACOS, but my auto, my broad, my phrase, usually I have a lower target ACOS in here. So I might change up the rules a little bit and be a little bit more aggressive with adding negatives, depending on the relevancy of the keyword and the clicks and the spend that I got. So come through here. All you have to do is click on this add as and click add as negative exact. Now, if you add as negative phrase, that's going to cut out tons more wasted ad spend. Suggest to stick add as negative exact. Now, if you're going through all your keywords and you keep seeing, let's go back to the stainless steel garlic press. If you keep seeing the word mincer pop up, yours isn't a mincer, you never convert well on mincer, you could add the word mincer as a negative phrase match inside of this ad group, and then you'll no longer show up for any time someone types in the word mincer. If they type in garlic mincer, garlic press mincer, you won't show up for any of those keywords when you add something as a negative exact match. So if you want to just manually add something as a negative outside of just clicking this add as button, what you want to do is come over to negative targeting. And then once you're in negative targeting, just go add negative keywords. And then you can add negative exact, click add, click save, go to negative phrase here, add negative phrase, click add, click save, and then you can do it all manually. Now, what we do at Ad Habit is we do everything in bulk files. So we have a spreadsheet loader. We load up everything in the spreadsheet. We upload it to Amazon. There's no clicking into each campaign, into each ad group. It's a lot more efficient. So if you do want to learn how to use bulk files, I've launched many other videos on adding negative keywords with bulk files. I gave you example sheets. So you can download my sheets, use them yourself. Super easy to do, and I walk you through it step by step. And hopefully my team put the video right up here in the right corner, and you can get to that. And one of the most important things you could do, especially if you're just launching your product, is targeting the most relevant keywords. Now, I've been in tons of meetings, tons of consulting calls with people, and a lot of times they are only looking at the highest search volume keywords. Now, you might think the first keyword I want to go after for this product is the word garlic press, but that's not true. I'm more than likely to convert on stainless steel garlic press because it's much more relevant to my product. And when people type it in, the likelihood they convert on that keyword versus garlic press is much higher because it's more relevant to my product. So when you're first launching your products, you want to make sure you're maximizing your ad spend on your sponsored product, exact match, broad phrase on those most relevant search terms. So as I come through here, this data dive tool, I've showed you this in many videos now. I have a link in the description below. If you want to get data dive and push a little bit of affiliate communication towards me to help me keep making these videos, I highly appreciate it. It's a great tool. My team uses it every single day. So what you could do here is you could sort by relevancy, right? I can see which ones are the most relevant. I could decide stainless steel garlic press, and they did a really good job. These are the most relevant ones to this niche that I did here. And I could also search. I could type in stainless and grab all of those, right? So when I'm first launching, I really want to launch on my most relevant ones. Now, it's okay to launch on all the other ones as well. Usually I'll keep lower bids until I get a better conversion rate, start to get a lot of reviews coming in, and I've really figured out what the right bids are for these keywords, start to get clicks, start to get sales. Then you could really adjust the bids according to that ACOS. But you're more than likely to convert much better where it is a long tail keyword, super relevant to your product. You want some search volume, but you don't have to go after 210,000 searches. And if you have a small budget and you're just launching your product, you're not going to be able to rank for that anyways. If you do get ranked, you're going to run out of stock and then lose all the ranking. So that's first rank where we think we could rank. That is most relevant. That's going to convert better before we tackle these huge keywords. Now, a mentor of mine back in the day, he talked about like storming a castle, right? Before you conquer the castle, you got to defeat all these other little forts along the way. So defeat all those little huts and forts and the small keywords that you could rank on. Once you start getting established and really start to build that Amazon flywheel, then you can go after the big fort, the big keywords, and start to rank on them. Now I want to talk about different ways to get a good ACOS, right? There's a lot of campaigns that always perform. Low bid auto campaign. You can launch an auto campaign. You can do fixed bids. You can keep your bids low, maybe 10, 20, 30 cents. As long as you're getting impressions and clicks, you're likely to get some really, really low ACOS campaigns. Same thing with low ACOS broad match. I could launch the word garlic press, keep my bid low, let it just run forever, never adjust it, right? That campaign's always going to perform really well. And altogether, just launching broad and phrase match campaigns, you're more than likely to get lower cost per clicks on those campaigns. And Amazon really, gives you the benefit of the doubt. They charge you a little bit less on the bids than they do in exact match campaigns. So if you're struggling with your ACOS, have some lower bid discovery campaigns, those auto, the broad, the phrase, and those should really help you get some cheaper sales at lower cost per clicks until your conversion rate starts to go up, until you've implemented all these other changes that I talk about on increasing that conversion rate. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is structured PPC management. I talk a lot about all of these tasks here, and when should you do these, right? You need to set up recurring tasks in your business. We love the project management tool, ClickUp. We built out our entire system in that, trained other people on the system. It works good. It's worked for years. So what you want to do is set up these tasks, right? Maybe every Wednesday, I'm going to adjust my budgets. Every Friday, I'm going to adjust my placements. Maybe Monday and Thursday, I'm going to adjust my bids twice a week. Set up these tasks. Don't miss them. Have a structure to it. Do this. Create an SOP for yourself, a standard operating procedure. So you're doing these things the same way. And outside of these normal tasks, then you can start to look at the strategy side of things, right? Do what you know needs to be done, and then go in and look at the strategy. Start to make those other small tweaks, those other strategic movements. Let's say you're launching ranking campaigns, putting high top of search, or you're looking at brand analytics, you're grabbing new keywords out of that. So make sure you're doing these tasks every single week. You have a structure to them. They're not missed. And over time, this really helps to grow your Amazon advertising account and your brand as a whole. So that is all I got on lowering your ACOS. There's tons of other tips. If you have any questions at all, put a question in the comments below. So once again, thank you for watching my channel. And the only payment I ask for this is to subscribe, share the videos with other people. I do these to help sellers that just don't know these tactics yet, that have taken me years to learn. And and try to give you some shortcuts along the way to make your ACOS better, to make your account better, and to scale this Amazon business into the business you want to have someday. And if you've already been selling a while, I hope you learned a lot in this video today too. I have tons of other videos, guys. Take a look at those, and if you have any video requests, put it in the comments below. Reach out to me and I'll answer your questions. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.